Now being 2 o'clock, I will call the October 21st, 2024 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. This meeting is being recorded for cablecast and YouTube presentation by Area 58 Community Access Media. The video of this meeting is not to be considered an official public record. The approved minutes of the meeting will serve as the official record of the proceedings. Our first agenda item is ratification of vote from October 7th, 2024, state election warrant. Any comments before we? Nope. All we have to do is ratify.
Correct.
Okay. I'll make a motion to ratify the vote of the board taken on October 7th, 2024 to approve the state election warrant as presented by the town clerk.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Yahoo.
Yeah. Okay, we have Old Colony Planning Council here, which is going to talk about green communities. Going to have a presentation for us. What's your name, sir? Alemano. You have the floor.
Thank you so much. Not sure where to stand. Hopefully this is a good spot. Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. Appreciate your time here. Just going to go over just briefly where things stand in terms of your annual reporting. Actually, the deadline is upcoming, so I'll be working with Liz and her team on getting that updated. But at least wanted to present how you were doing in terms of the 5 criteria that you're required to maintain your green community status. So, hopefully this will work. Yes. Okay. So, criteria 1 is related to as-of-right siting. So, communities had a choice from the following that you see up there: either renewable or alternative energy generating facilities, renewable or alternative energy research and development facilities, or renewable or alternative energy manufacturing facilities. So, Plympton has chosen the solar PV for this. Status remains the same. There's no changes to this. The second is related to expedited permitting. So there's really 2 options that communities can either be a part of, whether it's related to local rules and regulations or MGLC 43D. For the most part, communities fall under bucket 1, and you guys do as well. So there have been no changes as it relates to the expedited permitting as it relates to criteria 2. The third criteria, which I think is the most important, is related to your energy use, and making sure that you guys keep in line with the 20% reduction that's required from the baseline year, which for you all is 2011. So as we look at fiscal 23, which is the most recent annual report that was done in the community, you guys are doing a great job in terms of your energy use in your buildings, as well as your street and traffic lights. The only area I would say, based on the data, that needs a little bit of improvement is related to your municipal vehicles, which has gone up in the last couple of years.
Can you, is that police primarily, or does that include fire?
Yes, it includes all town vehicles.
All town vehicles.
So some great energy conservation measures that you all have taken in recent years. Here's a list of some of them. You guys have done some Energy Star appliances. You've done at your elementary schools some high efficiency transformers. You've done some heat pumps at your fire department. You've done LED lighting projects at the highway department. I'll talk a little bit about the library heat pump project in a second, which is a nice victory for you guys recently. You've done some Wi-Fi thermostats in your historical society, and you've also done some heat pumps in this building.
We also did heat pumps at the old townhouse, right?
Yes.
It's not on the
Yeah,
list.
it's not an exhaustive list, but wanted to give you highlights.
Okay,
of
great.
Just wanted to go into overall energy use. So some of the high energy use buildings that we have here in the town of Plympton are as follows. So the top 5 are your Dead Elementary School, your townhouse is number 2, your library is number 3, followed by the fire station and highway barn. So as you're thinking about projects moving forward, these are some of the high-ticket items that you may want to consider. And as you can imagine, those are also some of the highest emission buildings. So the list remains the same. So your elementary school, followed by the townhouse, followed by the fire station, the library, and your highway barn. And then a little bit more data in terms of your highest use intensity. Think about this as your miles per gallon on your vehicle. So the biggest gas guzzler in terms of energy use is, again, your fire station, similar list, the elementary school, your townhouse, your public library, and then followed by your transfer station shed. As it relates to your vehicle policy.
Can I just stop you?
Oh, sure.
Now, on each of those, do you sort of point us to things we could be doing?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I try to bring up the data to show you kind of
Okay.
where the improvements should be as you're looking for more green communities projects. So then as it relates to vehicle policy, you all have been in compliance with criteria for, just again, wanted to make you aware of the higher energy use as it relates to municipal vehicles. So you're thinking about replacing your fleet, your fleet, making sure that it's hybrid or electric vehicles that will help to reduce the numbers that you see in that previous slide. And then finally, criterion 5 is related to the stretch code. There's a nice chart here that explains what it is. There's been no change in that, so you remain in compliance with the current.
So what is the stretch code?
So it's basically, it's like the most recent building code, from what I understand. It's like a specialized building code relative to the Green Communities program. So as it relates to that, you guys are doing pretty well. And then, again, one of the major highlights is you've done an excellent job of reducing your energy use in your buildings. So if you take all that data overall, since 2011, you've reduced your energy use by 35% in your buildings, which is amazing. And then obviously the other big highlight is congratulations on getting a Green Communities grant round for your public library to do some heat pumps. So that's an amazing job. Thank you for working with Liz and the team on that. And then with the program, the possibilities are endless. So you have a current grant now. So when you're complete with that, you work with you all on your final report, you'll certainly be eligible for more grants. Typically, it's going to be up to $225,000 in grant funds. If you're an environmental justice community, you're eligible for up to $250,000 with a small match. And then decarbonization grants, you're eligible for up to $500,000 in funding.
Would that be anything that we'd be affected by, decarbonization grants?
It depends the project that you're looking to do. So it could fall under that.
We
Just
work with
depends
a
on
vendor
what you
and
think.
we evaluate the potential projects every year.
Okay. So where are we in terms of the grant we have? Are we almost,
They just gave us the notice to proceed effective October 15th, so I was actually just signing on the contract today with Energy Source.
and will use up the,
That'll be for the library work.
okay.
And then once that's done, then you're eligible, if you get the grant done and all the work, and then you do the final report, then you're eligible to apply for like an upcoming cycle.
Is it yearly, or how does that work?
They offer it yearly, and then there was one year that they did it like twice, like 2 different rounds of funding available.
Yeah, there's what's
But if
called
you have an active grant open, you can't apply for
Sure,
more. You have to
okay.
close out whatever projects.
Yep.
Yeah, so every year there's a program opportunity notice with a spring and a fall round. So depending on when you finish your final report, you can slot yourself in either of those. Actually, they just changed it, I found out recently. So now it's 3 cycles worth in one program opportunity notice. So now there's an additional round coming in the spring with the same guidelines and the same criteria. The state mentioned that's in an effort to align everything with the fiscal year versus the calendar year, which they're currently in. So that'll be great for you guys. Closing out the project, you'll be able to apply for more funds come the spring. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention there is what DOER is terming a Green Communities 2.0 program that should be releasing shortly. These are a bit of the details that I have on it currently. The requirements are going to be similar to the way you maintain status now. Being in good standing with the 5 criteria, establishing a local energy committee, committing to decarbonization goals by 2050, having a energy efficient vehicle policy, and then continuing the adopted stretch code. And any more information I have on this from your coordinator, Lisa Sullivan, I'll be sure to pass that along on this, but just wanted to make you aware of this being down the pipeline. And then just wanted to leave you with the contact information for your coordinator, Lisa Sullivan, who's here on the bottom right. And happy to take any questions that you may have. And anything I can't answer, I should be sure to relay that information over to Lisa. Thank you.
I'd like to get a copy of the presentation so we can share it among ourselves, but also put it on with the minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've been involved in it quite a ways. Any comments?
I think we're good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That was informative.
I just wanted to say I do have Lori Muncy here from OCPC to talk about the poverty. If you guys want to bring that topic up.
Yeah. Laurie's been here before, so.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello. So we saw some poverty data that came out, and I'm not sure I read it correctly. So I was a little taken back, because at first I thought it said that the poverty rate in Plympton was 20%. And then I've since seen another number that says maybe 8%.
I think it's like 8.3 for the actual percentage. He's going to pull up the table,
Okay,
and I can show you where we get those numbers and
Great.
how they break out. This is the.
you're going to have to read them to us. I can't see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't see them either. Actually, I have
Let
to
me see
get
if I
off.
can load this up for you. A little bit better? I can load it a little bit more.
Okay.
So this is from 2022 ACS data from the.
And ACS is what?
The American Community Survey data
Okay.
from the census,
Yep.
census.gov. So this is for the town of Plympton for that year. Now, mind you, ACS data is estimated. Your actual data is done once every 10 years at the regular census, the decennial census.
So that would have been the 2020?
Correct.
Okay.
But this is the most recent data, 2022. They haven't released 2023 yet. But when they do, we'll update it, obviously. So the first line, number 4, shows the population for whom poverty status is determined. So they estimated 2,916 members, and out of that, 8.3% live below the poverty level.
So how do they get to 2009-16? Does that include beyond residents? Does that include other communities?
No, it's just Clinton.
I mean, we only, what do we have?
Well, that's
No,
our
I guess we're about
population
that, yeah.
thereabouts.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then when you go down, it breaks it out by age. So how many are under 18, how many are under 5, how many are between school age, and then you'll get into, regular categories, middle age, and then older citizens. And that percent is in column F as you scroll down. So of the residents 60 years and over, 5.6% are living below the poverty level in the town of
Yeah,
Plympton.
what was the category again? Could you?
5.6%.
No, the label on it, was that seniors or
60 years and over.
60 years and over? Okay.
You can go higher, 65 years and over, and that would be 5.8%. And then when you look at children under 5, you have 17.9% living below poverty in Plympton. And then you go school age, you'll have 11.9% between the ages of 5 and 17.
Is that high for us? Is that high for this town with the numbers of the estimated population?
It's been a rough few years, I think people are feeling it. But no, I don't see the numbers skewing like dramatically high or dramatically low for any town in our region, to be honest with you. They've kind of had the same consistent climb for those age groups. And then you can break it down further by male and female, and then you can go down into the races of the population estimated.
Does anything pop out of this that, you know, that you could maybe give us a direction pointer, things we might think of?
I think you would look at more than population and poverty data. It just depends on what subject you're talking about, whether it's school growth or needs versus regular community needs. This is just a tool for you when you're applying for grants or looking at need, what those needs might be for which age group. So maybe you might need some intervention in the under 5 groups, because that's a pretty high number of people living below poverty in that age group.
What is the poverty level? What would be the dollar figure that,
I don't have that. I don't know if it's on this table. We have it on our website. I don't think this table.
all right, maybe you can pass that on to us later?
Yeah, for sure. And when you pull up, can you pull up our data dashboard? I'll show you, we have a data dashboard now on our website, and it has each town in our region broken down. So you can really look at all the data and how it impacts you versus other towns in the region. So let me pull that up here.
And what is the website?
It's on our website, oldcolonyplanning.org. And then you'll go, thought it had a big one in the front, but maybe under, yeah, right here.
Your notes.
The data dashboard's right on our front page right now. And this is the Florida. We have 2 in here, community data and then economic development assessment tool. So you can go in there and play around depending on what type of data you're looking for. So here's the median household income. We've got Plympton, 118,098.
And what would the poverty be?
This is 8.3. It's
No, I mean, that's the medium household income, but where does poverty kick in? Is that 80% of the medium income or 50% or?
There's different rates they use. There's 30, 50, and 80. I don't know that we have this. Try the economy one. It might be under there.
Yeah,
Oh, that
this
is the economy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Try demographics then. if I find it. Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay, check housing then. If not, we can get it on here, because this is the first year of this tool, and every year we're going to
Sure.
be improving it.
Yeah.
So you're really the first town that I've talked to about it, to be honest with you. It's under the Economic Development Department in our agency, but we all work to supply the data for them. I'm sorry, I don't have the poverty rate for your town.
Pass it on. Our medium income, I believe, has been slightly higher than any town that touches us. Not by much, but by a little bit. And I'm just surprised. 8% poverty in this town seems high to me, but I've never had a benchmark to measure it against.
Just you can kind of pick which towns touch you from the column,
Yep.
and then see where you are in relation to them. So there's Plympton. So you move to the left of the, let me try that one, just that.
I don't think it allows you to.
Oops.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to play with this more and find
Yeah,
out.
I would recommend playing with it.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert on this, obviously.
So we can find it all on the website to
Yeah,
our
there's
heart's
the
content.
website up there, Community Data Portal. And over here on the left, if you select the town, you'll see all of
Yep.
the other towns' data. So you can do a compare and contrast. And those are the topics ahead. the transportation, housing, economy, and demographics. But like I said, we're gonna be adding more, next time when the 2023 data comes out, we have to update it. We'll add 3 or 4 more tables every year to it.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Can we add that as a link? First onto the website, or
Oh, we could. Yeah.
can I ask?
Yeah, I'll talk to Brian and figure out where it would make
Yeah.
sense.
Okay. Okay, next agenda item is ARPA Fund Status Update. Liz, I think that's you.
Yes. So this is specific to our county ARPA funds. As far as our county allocation, we were originally allocated just over 536,000.
Right.
Of that, we've already received from the county a little over 259,000, and this was for some revenue replacement work, and then HVAC work at Silver Lake, at both the high school and the middle school. Then, more or less an accounting thing, but we had to send back some funds for Silver Lake because when the project estimates came in, one was more money than what they anticipated and what we requested, and one was less. So all 3 towns in the school district had to send some funds back, but then we're going to get them back again. So that somewhat washes out. That was the equivalent of about 20,000. And then we have pending expenses. These are items that have already been submitted to the county, but we're waiting on final totals of what they'll approve. More HVAC work at Silver Lake, and then 1,600 or so in revenue replacement work. And then we have a pending application for roughly 43,000 towards the well and water infrastructure work. And that's taking place down the hill behind the highway barn for the new wells for the public water supply. That leaves us approximately 230,000 plus or minus in county ARPA. And as I've been trying to keep the board informed of just via sort of general email, that project for the new wells and our public water supply that will service the entire town campus, that is under the jurisdiction, so to speak, of the Town Properties Committee.
Right.
And that project, I am not involved with the procurement for it. If you recall, they have their project manager running all of that for them. We are waiting on a fair amount of information from the Town Properties Committee and their project manager so that the town accountant and myself, we each have different responsibilities as far as reporting to the county. So I have sent them a very detailed email with what she and I are looking for so that we can fulfill our obligation and ensure that we're able to get the most funds possible. We also wanted to submit to the county sort of a placeholder application for a certain percentage of our original allocation. And then if some of the other communities in Plymouth County don't need to utilize all of theirs, there would be a chance possibly of some extra funds. We expect the well project, it's going to exceed in cost what we have allotted. And so we have those additional funds that were voted at town meeting for the new fire station. The well infrastructure is part of that. Obviously, you can't pursue building a new fire station unless we have a water source. But ideally, we'll get all the information that we need in a timely manner, and then we can make our required ARPA submittals and get the most funds possible for the town.
Yep.
So that is where that is at right now. The reporting deadline currently is set for this week, the 24th of October. So I'm hoping that we get all of the information in. I requested it from them by 5 PM today.
Okay.
In case we have follow-up questions, we
Yep.
can get them answered, and that should be enough time to make our submittal
Okay.
to the ARPA portal. And the work itself doesn't have to be done until basically the end of 2025. So we have plenty of time to get the work done.
No, the work is proceeding, so.
Correct,
Yeah, we
correct.
need to make sure we capture this, because it's 230,000.
Right, right. And obviously, any funds that we're able to put towards that project coming from the county, it's less coming
Yeah.
out of what the town allocated towards figuring out the
Town gave us
infrastructure.
$980,000 for the design phase.
Right, so
Okay, so ring me tomorrow, let me know.
I will.
Any questions? No.
I guess we just have to wait.
Yeah.
We do. I do think it would be helpful going forward if maybe we had the town properties committee with a little more regularity, maybe like reporting.
Coming here.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
yeah.
We can set
Just
them up, yeah.
because there's a lot of different projects going on, and the public water supply, that well project is a huge undertaking for a town of this size.
Yeah.
And I think the more sets of eyes on it and just making sure that everybody's thinking of everything and all the possible
Yep.
factors and everything, I think would be very valuable.
Also, as we get closer to town meeting and potentially some big decisions, and I'd love to have a representative in at least monthly to kind of update us.
We can do that,
Yeah.
yeah. If John can't do it, I'll do it. I'll make sure I'm, got the information that you want to see. And I think we need the project manager here. And on the wells, we need Peter Dillon, the consultant that we're using. I think he should come in.
I mean, we could even have these people Zoom in, couldn't we?
Sure.
We could have them zoom in, yeah. I mean, it's a little disjointed as far as us being able to hear them and them being able to hear us, but I think we could figure that out.
We've done it in the past, so.
Yeah,
We'll make
we
it-
could make it
yeah.
work.
Okay. Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.
We have an appointment for Alan Wheelock to become a ZBA alternate. He would serve from October 21st today till June 30th, 2027. Any comments before I make a,
I do have a comment.
Good.
Great choice, thrilled he's doing it. I think he's the exact right guy for that position, and big
did you?
decisions sometimes come out of ZBA, and the more confidence we have in the people on, the better. And
Yeah.
Alan's a really good
We
guy.
obviously have a 40B coming before us, so this is good. Yeah. So I will make a motion to appoint Alan Wheelock as a ZBA alternate effective October 21st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Great.
Thank you.
Warrants paid, Bree.
$5,963.94.
Say it again, I'm sorry. Oh, 5,000, okay. I thought you said 95,000.
$563.94.
Thank you. Town administrator updates.
I have been working with our designer for the attic insulation project. If you recall, we have to separate off from the contractor that was doing the roof project, so it's going to be a totally separate
Right.
procurement as far as that goes, and we're hoping that we can get it figured out and have somebody in to do the work, ideally in December, before it gets too cold.
Okay.
So that's ongoing. the designer who's going to be assisting the Town Properties Committee with the community preservation project for the entrance. They're getting geared up for that, so that's underway. I was working with our vendor, actually, on the Green Communities, the grant that we just had received word that we received.
Yeah.
So we're working on getting the contract signed on for that. We have our notice to proceed from the state, from the Department of Energy Resources. So once we get everything signed on for that and the utility rebates all lined up, then I will be in touch with Mike Slauson and we'll figure out scheduling and just what makes sense. I think it'll be a fairly quick project. They were in and out when they did the work at the old townhouse, and even the library the first time around, to a certain extent. So I don't envision it being a long project, but it's just a question of mobilization and, how quickly we can get the person out there to do the actual work. So working on that, working on ARPA reporting, and then obviously coordinating a lot of stuff internally for the 40B proposal. We had the site visit.
Yep. Got a lot on your plate.
Yes. And then in correspondence, do you have the Weichel letter? Perfect.
I was looking at it, I said,
We received a very nice letter from the family of Harry L. Weichel Jr. It's addressed to the town of Plympton, and it says, "Our family would like to thank you all for everything you've done to help us this past year. We've had to reach out to several of you in the different departments, and we are very grateful for your kindness and compassion. It is so wonderful to hear your memories and stories of him. He was quite a special guy to us, and to hear that the town of Plympton felt he was pretty special too really makes our hearts smile. The people of Plympton meant the world to both Dad and Mom, and it will always be their town, their home. Plympton, you are one of a kind. With much love from the family of Harry L. Weichel Jr. Roberta, Bobby and Buddy, Tambra Lee, John Wright, Wendy Lee, Wayne, and Gage."
Nice. Very nice. Thank you.
And we have one of them posted on the bulletin board too, for everybody.
I know the Weichel house has been for sale. Is it sold?
I think it was sold, or it was in the paper last week, it's sold.
Okay.
And then we have our preliminary comments for the 40B.
Yes.
So if you could take a vote to submit our comments. I've also received comments from police and fire, highway, conservation, and comments are coming in as well from the Board of Health.
Okay.
And then I am going to assemble those all into one package and send them to Mass Housing. And at that time, I'm also going to post them on the website where we've set up the standalone link for it. And I will make sure that we post something else on the town's Facebook that just, again, gives the link to people so that they can read everything. And
Good.
that way it's just up.
So this is the letter.
Yes.
Got a chance to look at it? Yep. Thought it was well written.
Yeah, I think it's a really good letter. It hits the high points in a fairly concise manner. Hopefully it gets read and taken to heart.
Okay, and this will go up on the website.
Yes.
Okay. So I would make a motion. Motion to sign the preliminary comment letter addressed to Mass Housing regarding the proposed 40B development off Spring Street. Do I have a second? All those in favor? Aye. Great. Okay, that's it for correspondence. Okay. Minutes of October 7th. I sent around, I was okay with the minutes except for the piece about how the Old Town House lease is invalid. I don't think we have a lease signed by the Plympton Historical Society and the Board of Selectmen. And if you're going to change it, it has to be done through a vote of oath. I don't think you can just declare it invalid.
And I think we need to discuss that. What we really need right now is simply have the minutes report what happened last week. I do have a pretty simple proposal on that if you
Okay,
want.
great.
So the last sentence I would propose could read, the prior lease would need to be reviewed.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it as well.
You want to make a motion then for the
I'll
minutes?
make a motion that we make that edit to the minutes, and with that the minutes be approved.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. So I think we're down to raves, unless,
So Mark, you'll
Anybody-
give me what you want your change to be?
Sure. In fact, I think we can send it right down there as is.
okay, raves.
I have 4 raves.
Wow. Go.
So, first of all, a climactic one, my rave for Indian summer. It's like
Yeah.
amazing. And then 2 guys, rave for Alan Wheelock, who does so much for this town and is so respected. And actually, the letter from the Weichels warms my heart. Harry Weichel and I couldn't probably have disagreed more vehemently about a billion things along the way, and somewhere along the way, I think we really came to respect each other. He was missed. And then lastly, we had a medical emergency here last Monday, and my rave is for the compassion and the competence of our emergency people that did a really good job.
They are good. They are good. Great.
That will do.
So I have a rave for the people who put on trunk or treat at the elementary school yesterday, because I walked over and it was fun. All the kids all dressed up in their costumes, and they open up the back of the cars and everybody dresses them up. And it was a good time. It's nice to see. It's so important for these kind of events, I believe, for the town to be kind of brings everybody together. So, big rave. And the police were there and the fire were there, so that was good too. Dana?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Dates to remember. Board of Selectmen's open meetings. We have, we have one on this Thursday, November 4th. Is it?
24th, yeah, we did. We just posted that today.
Yeah. And that's for an appointment of a police officer.
We think, yeah.
So we'll discuss it.
Executive
And then
session
we'll
and
see.
then,
Okay, yeah. But our regular open meetings will be for November 4th and November 18th at 2 o'clock. So with that, unless there's any more you want to talk about,
Till Thursday.
okay. Anything from the audience? Everybody okay? Okay. I'll make a motion that we terminate the open meeting for October 21st.
Maybe we should have audience raves in the future.
I know, I think so.
Come on now.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank you for coming, appreciate it.